Hello, this is a video about making flexible graphs. Now, I am pretending that this is the history and this is a forecast. And for years, I have wanted to do what I'm showing you right here. I have wanted to take and make a very flexible graph that displays different items. Notice I can't do this. It takes a list box and just displays the different items. Now, what's happening is I have got random numbers in my little example. Okay. Now, there are going to be a series of subsequent videos that are exploring exactly how this part is made. You know, we can make a graph that is really flexible in terms of the x scale. We can easily pick different lines here. We can easily pick using the index function for the different lines. We can easily use a developer, and we can easily use a drop-down box to just pick the different items. But to be able to pick multiple different items on a graph, I just love this because it's taken me so long to do. We need a list box. Come on. We need a list box that allows multiple entries. We need to make this list box, and in the list box we need to have this selection type be multiple. Okay, it seems that it should be fairly straightforward. Here's the history and the forecast. So we can use the index function, we can use the NA function to make a very flexible X scale. The thing I have never been able to do is to be able to selectively take more than one different item. And I've got some sample data here, and here is the output from our list box, and this is what we're graphing. We're graphing NA, and if we go back to our list box, let's only graph the oil. Okay, so let's take this one away. Okay, I can't just keep doing this. I apologize for that. Now we've got only the oil. It picks the oil here. We make a little index. So this is our actual raw data here. And then just above here, this is our graph data. Okay, and the whole thing works with a list box. Now, when I make with this list box that allows you to take multiple things, and it also, I just made a data label here because I'll explain in a minute. The list box, if we put a design and go to add a chart element, and we add a legend to the right perhaps, notice it gives NAs, so it's kind of nice. It shows the history, but it gives NAs. If you have 10 different graphs, it will give you 10 NAs. I didn't like that, so I put the description as a data label on the last one, and it kind of worked. Okay. Now, when you make this, if you have format control, we're going to show you in a subsequent video how to use either the form control or the ActiveX control, this list box or this list box. This was an extremely rare occasion where if you use this list box and you just take a single one, it's so simple, it's just as simple as a drop-down box. But as soon as you want to make and find and put the outputs here somewhere else, so as soon as, whoops, so if we want to put some different names here, that suddenly becomes a real pain. And that's, of course, what you want to do. That's the only advantage or the difference between this list box and this drop-down box. So how do we do that? And it turns out it's just about as easy to use one of these things. Now I can't remember where I left it off. So there's Harry, and whoops, we have to take it now out of design mode, and we get this. So we can do the same thing with either one, but when we do it, we need to assign a macro to it. This is the horrible part of it. And you know, when you look at, I looked on the internet and I tried to find this stuff, and it was just such a pain. Here, let me copy this here for you. Okay, here's our list box. So here, this is the idea. This is a philosophical idea about a lot of the stuff on my website and my internet. I'm sure that many people watching this video, and especially a long video, what a waste. But you can find this file and just go through and see how the process works. Okay, so I'm going to go through a couple of slow videos that, number one, explain briefly how I made the sample data. Number two, we'll really spend maybe one video on this kind of list box, another video on this kind of list box with the macros, and then a third video on just how to put this all together in a graph, on some of the things that are a little bit more difficult and some of the things that perhaps are not so difficult. So this is a file. I'm going to call this multiple flex multiple series on a graph. Okay, and I'm going to put this, oh, I've got it in the ancient Excel, excuse me for that. I'm going to put this, excuse me, I think I'm look, okay, my hopefully this just comes to the website. So there's a section called dynamic graphs here. Okay, and this dynamic graphs is where I'll put this file. Okay, because I interrupted myself a little bit, but a lot of you, once you see it, then you just steal the ideas. Sometimes it's a lot easier to steal the ideas from a file rather than watching me ramble on in a video. Okay, that's 7 minutes. That's enough of an introduction.